Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Ms. Gorman, thank you for being here today. Mr. Abraham, certainly sorry for your loss. Sheriff, we hear a lot of talk about grants and funding, but it seems like to me you have a bigger problem with some of the laws. Actually, you may have the resources to do some things sometimes, but it seems like state laws, sanctuary states and cities and communities actually create a bigger hurdle for you sometime. What specific authority or cooperation do you need to prevent a removable offender from being released back into the community before ICE can take lawful custody?
Thank you. So we don't spend a whole lot of resources on any type of immigration enforcement. We have no authority to do that. So when I keep hearing that our resources are tapped, what they're actually tapped into is when they come into our custody. That's where we're getting hit by these sanctuary laws, where it is impacting my budget, precious jail bed spaces. That has a huge impact. It's not that we are out there doing any type of enforcement. We never have and we never will. That's a federal component of the government. But what we need to have happen is those low-level offenses that don't fall within California SB 54, the 16 I mentioned, and Ms. Pierce did put out some numbers. So out of 7 that I gave over to ICE, I had 16 that I could not turn over because they did not meet the low-level or the high-level offenses where I could cooperate with ICE. And those were released back into the community. I need that to change.
And you know, I was talking to a judge as a friend of mine, and under the prior administration, he would actually have people in his courtroom that were driving under the influence that were here illegally. And very often, if he turned them over, they would take them down the road and turn them loose. Angel and Jeremy C. actually died in my community, a drunk driver, Mr. Abram, much like what you described. They had him, they turned him loose. He was a repeat offender. And then he was back out on the street again and ultimately killed 2 newlyweds, young newlyweds. Ms. Gorman, I understand that the individual that murdered Sheridan had been in prior custody and they had been released. Do you want to tell me a little bit about the details? And then, if you don't mind, tell us what real accountability looks like to your families and to the communities when we have these sanctuary jurisdictions.
Sure. I just have to say that I'm not a lawmaker and I'm not a politician, but one of the things that I searched on ChatGPT, of all things, when we found out that Sheridan was murdered by an illegal immigrant, and when we found out what angel families were, I was curious. So one night I went online and I said, how many people have been killed by illegal immigrants in Chicago or in Illinois? I did both. Do you know what the answer was? Without being, point blank, it basically said the Chicago police are not allowed to track that information. They're not allowed to ask. So we don't know. The answer is we don't know how many people have been killed by illegal immigrants in Chicago or in Illinois. In my opinion, that's the biggest part. We keep talking about programs being taken away and funding. It's about cooperation. It's about sitting on that bench together and just saying, I'm gonna tell you my side, you tell me yours, and let's find a way to cooperate. I don't think that the sanctuary cities are cooperating. Yes, this man apparently came across the border and was actually asked the questions, which apparently you would know about because you were help facilitating people coming over illegally. Asked the questions whether they claim asylum or they in danger and need to be rescued by the United States. And this man actually answered no, and yet we took him anyway. There's so many steps. Yes, this man was arrested. He was arrested when he came to Chicago for stealing at a Macy's, apparently. And then because of cashless bail policies, they just released him back on the street. The original intent, I believe, of cashless bail was that these people are from our community. So the chances of them coming back to a court are high because they're part of the community. That doesn't apply to illegal immigrants. This man didn't have an address. The fact that he was even released on his own recognizance, how do we know this man's not even using a different name? We trust that the name he gave himself is Jose Medina. There's so much wrong with these policies, cashless bail, sanctuary cities. It's a roundabout. The sad thing is that I've had to educate myself, my husband. We've had to educate ourselves on immigration law. It's disgusting. There's so many little loopholes, and the fact that Chicago's not even allowed to ask if someone who commits a murder is an illegal immigrant. They're not allowed to store that information. That should tell you everything you need to know. It's an evasive game of shifting cards and shifting blame. And frankly, yeah, sitting here, when yes, I'm thankful my daughter wasn't dismembered, not, you know. I need people to think about that. You don't have to be a parent to feel the pain that we're feeling and the betrayal. One of the things that happened, I'm sorry I've done this, but one of the things that happened is we're in Chicago getting ready to claim my daughter's body, and the mayor there is naming a truck Abolish ICE, standing and laughing and joking, while my daughter was just murdered there. Like, what?
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
Gentleman's
Gorman.
time has expired.
I yield back, Mr. Chair.